There's one thing you need to know if you want to be used by God, and that is this. God does not stack the odds in your favor. He actively stacks them against your favor so that when victory comes, everyone knows that it is him. We see this in the book of Judges, where God calls Gideon to lead an army. And at first, Gideon is nervous, like most of us. He's like, how can I lead an army? I am the weakest amongst everyone. But he is willing. And at first, there's an army of 32,000 men. Those are odds stacked in your favor. And Gideon's probably feeling like, okay, I've got this. 32,000 men, we have a chance. But then God says this, you have too many men. What? God tells Gideon to send home whoever is fearful. 22,000 men leave his army. He's left with 10,000. Now you can imagine what this is like for Gideon. Okay, this is definitely not what we had in the beginning, but I can do something with 10,000. We might still have a chance with 10,000. And God says this, Gideon, you still have too many men. Gideon is left with an army of 300 men. That's 10% of the army that he had at the beginning. God actively stacked the odds against Gideon's favor. But why does he do this? Why does he need us to be in such a desperate looking position? In Judges 7, God says, because if it didn't look desperate, if it didn't look impossible, then the people would not see God in it. They would think it was because of their own strength and their own capabilities that they won this victory and not rely on God. You see, God made us and he knows the human heart. We confuse the tools of deliverance, an army, with the source of deliverance, God. I think this is why Jesus says it's harder for a rich man to go to heaven. Not because Jesus is anti-financial success, but I think what he knows about us is when we accumulate around us so much stuff, so many tools of deliverance, we start to build more security in them than in God. And it is the person that lacks that ability to be confident in what they themselves have. That person leans desperately on God. Whereas the wealthy person is like, it worked because I planned well, I prepared well, I got everything that I needed to get in order. But when all of that is stripped away, when you're left with just 10% barely hanging on and victory still comes, then there's only one explanation left, God. And so if our God delights in seeing barely hanging on bare bones, we must not get anxious and panic when he starts to strip away our army or strip away what we thought we could rely on. That's actually a sign that God himself is about to get in this fight and win.